tip for beautifully seamed sleeves that are knit on the flat. And this would apply whether you're knitting a sleeve from the top down, which is this little sample, this would be your armhole, or from the bottom up, and this would be your cuff, and that would be the top where it would meet the armhole. The trick is, in your pattern, whatever it says, don't do it. Don't do the increase or the decrease right along the edge stitch. Instead, do it the third stitch in. Your first stitch, it's a garter stitch. So it's knit on the right side and it's knit on the wrong side. Your second stitch is going to be a stockinette stitch. So it's knit on the right side and purled on the wrong side. And your third stitch is where you would do the increase or the decrease. And then on the other side, you would do your, remember those first two you leave alone. So when you're in at that third one, you're going to do your increase or your decrease. Then you're going to do a stockinette stitch, and then you're going to do a garter stitch. And it's the same whether on the bottom up. The edge stitch is a garter stitch, so knit on the right and knit on the wrong. Next one is a stockinette stitch, knit on the right and purled on the wrong. And the third stitch in is where you do your increase or your decrease. And then when you're doing your increase or your decrease, make sure you do it in the proper leaning, right? So these are right leaning increases, left leaning increases. This is a left lean decrease and a right lean decrease. It just makes it look very nice. What does that look like in a chart? Here in the chart, this is a decreasing down, this is a top down, and so you're going to do, for those that don't understand, this means that this is a garter stitch. So you're gonna, this is the right side, so you're gonna knit, knit, and you're gonna do your decrease, work your way to the end, then you're gonna do your decrease, then you're gonna knit, knit, and then on the wrong side, you have to knit, so that it's a purl on the right side. So you're going to knit, do it across, and then you're going to purl, because that's a stockinette stitch, and then you're going to knit. So there's the instructions on how to do the beautiful edge, and then this is the bottom up. So again, it is going to be a garter stitch, a stockinette. So on the right side, that's knit, knit, and then you do your increase, go to the end, then you do your increase, left leaning, and then you're going to do stockinette, which is knit, and garter, which is knit. On the wrong side, a garter is knit, a stockinette is purled. In this case, you'd purl all the way across. Then you get to the last two, which is a stockinette, which is purled, and a garter, which is knit. And there's the instructions written out on how to do that increase for the bottom up cuff. What does this look like when you actually seam it with the mattress stitch? So this is what it looks like on a garment that has had the increase and the decrease done on that third stitch, and then you do the mattress stitch, and when you finish the mattress stitch, you end up with just the beautiful stockinette stitch that you had butting up against each other, making a beautiful, very professional seam. And it doesn't matter what's going on over here. If it's stockinette stitch over here, it would just blend in. But in this case, it's a crazy stitch I call the pebble stitch, and it just blends in beautifully. So it's a wonderful technique for very professional seaming on a sleeve knit on the flat. Happy knitting!